Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Southwest NASCAR Series live stream. Today, we're going racing from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, but before we take 82 laps around that 1.5-mile racetrack, let's take a look at the point standings officially updated after the conclusion of the last race. The points leader is currently Sharon Kyle in the number 19 car with 1,009 points on the season so far, with 2 wins actually, couple top, and then couple more top fives, top tens, and all that. I will be updating the points as soon as I possibly can after this race as well, so stay tuned for that. Anyhow, let's get straight into it. The Southwest NASCAR Series coming up from the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the running of the Folds of Honor QuickTrip 500. Alongside me today is none other than Ad.
Hello. I'm ready. Alright.
So, running the practice session, and surprisingly enough, the 8 is the first car out on the racetrack here for Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is the 2018 version of the racetrack, I believe. Flashy McClashy running that number 77 Microsoft car, rolling off of pit road there. And it looks like Build once again running the Canadian Patriotic Scheme. And for the first time this season, the 11 of Ben Pierce going to run that FedEx car. So that'll be interesting. Surprisingly enough, I added a couple of secondary paint schemes to the game, but it seems that none of the drivers have I added more secondary paint schemes to want to run them today, but we shall see as time goes on. So let's hop forward to the race. So,
drivers, to your cars.
Start this race. Drivers being told to hop over to their cars. Let's go through the starting order. On the pole for today's race, none other than the 8 of BNP. To his outside is the 15 of Emily Winters in the number 15 IBM Chevrolet. Then row 2, position 3 sees the number 44 Disney Toyota Camry of Creeper of Hope. Cole McElmoyle starting 4th in the number 61, the PG Pinks Chevrolet Camaro. Then the number 11 FedEx Toyota Camry of Ben Pierce rolling off 5th, and T6 is the number 77 Microsoft Dodge Challenger. P7 is the 54 of Coaster Enthusiast in the Caltrans Dodge Challenger. And then the 18 of Adrian Mobley running the M&M's Toyota Camry rolls off in 8th. 9th goes to the points leader, Sharon Kyle in the 19 Xbox Dodge Challenger. And then Garrett Jima rolling off in 10th. 11th is the 1 Budweiser car of Max Weissner. And then 12th is the number 3 Corona Extra Aflac Ford Mustang of James Youngeman. He was outside the 13 Ford Performance Ford Mustang of Matt Wynn. Then Daytona 500 winner, he was better in the number 4 Coca-Cola Ford Mustang. And then Canadian Tire Motorsport Park Race winner, the 78 of Ninja Talonflame, the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Chevrolet Camaro. Pulling off in, that 56 is 7. 17th is the Rush Truck Center's number 14 Ford Mustang of Ryan Boyer, the AAA 400 winner from Dover. And then 18th belongs to the 25 Starcom Fiber 25 of Robot Spider. Rolling off in 19th is the number 5 Ford Mustang of Ace and Avery. And then in 20th is the number 42 Right On Bank Chevrolet Camaro of none other than Brandon Delpino. And 21st belongs to the number 12 John Deere Ford Mustang of Parker. And then 22nd belongs to the 22 of Sam Blaney in the Duracell Toyota Camry. Matt Nile rolling off 23rd in the number 26 Miller Lite Ford Mustang. And then Light Yagami in the number 10 Napa Auto Parts Toyota Camry rolling off in 24th. 25th is the Monster Energy Assault car of Matt Vanswicki, the Ford Mustang. And then the 7 Jet Blue Toyota Camry of Carlos Tavares rolls off in the 6th. 27th belongs to the 88 Mountain Dew Chevrolet Camaro of Winterwolf. And 29th, 28th belonging to the number 9 Valvoline Ford Mustang of Chris Canavan. And rolling off 29th is none other than Ad in the number 39 Home Depot car. And last today is George Uriarte in the number 24 Liberty University Chevrolet Camaro. Now that we've gone through the entirety of the field, Ad, do you have any predictions for today's race?
For my prediction, I'm gonna go with the number 61 in Builder. Hasn't led a race this year, but he hasn't been there up towards the top 5 and top 10 lately. So I believe he can. At this racetrack, it's his time to shine right now and break through.
Start your engines.
Well, as the drivers receive the command to fire engines, I think that this track is going to be rough on the tires, and the guys who are going to win this race gotta conserve a little bit. And I think it kind of goes more towards the guys in the back who are going to be more willing to conserve. I wouldn't be surprised if a guy like Ad or Uriarte or Chris Canavan, somebody from the back here, Sam Blaney, maybe gets this checkered flag.
Well, you never know. We'll see.
And already a problem. This is extremely early to be having an issue, but it looks like Parker's day just went up in smoke as soon as the field rolled off the grid. And that is not going to be what that 12 team wants to see. Because that means 29 cars out of the 30 that entered this race going to start, and that 12 likely will finish in 30th. Because he was not one of the 29 that started. Dodge Challenger pace car is in, and we are underway from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. starts are wild here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we're seeing 3 wide, several rows deep. The first instance of it is the 19 of Sharon Kyle up the inside of the 54. There's still multiple rows deep, 4 wide, the 99 in the grass, and somehow they keep it together. And they're 4 wide again. This time it's the 99, 4, 61, and 15 as Emily Winters gets up in the outside wall. But so far, very clean racing from these guys. A couple of scrapes in the wall, but other than that, and maybe a pass in the grass. But you know, as long as you can keep it together, that's what can go here. As they're still 3 wide for second. Coaster Enthusiast trying to pick something up out of that. The 11 got loose. And so far, the 8 has shuffled back, and now the 19 of Sharon Kyle is your race leader. As we battle up here at the front, camshaft issue is what takes 12 out of this race, but so far, several changes for the lead, and no shortage of action here from Atlanta. Now the 44 takes the race lead, and just as you were saying prior to the drop of the green flag, the 61 showing some promise here early, already up to second. Gonna lose his spot here to the 99, and the 2 get shuffled back a little bit, but oh, whoa, trouble, turn 2! Hard into the outside wall, up and over goes the 5. They pile up down the back straightaway. Caution is out for the first time today. And a lot of good race cars torn up in that. And at the caution flag, the number 2 of Matt Banswicki was your race leader. Pit road is open. Let's see who's coming.
Just like you said, EMP, this race restart is going to be critical for most of those leaders. We'll see what happens. But overall, you never know.
So far, the only cars on pit road seem to be the damaged cars. The rest of the field choosing to stay on the racetrack. Let's take a look at what happened that caused this wreck. So they were going 3 wide off into turn number 1. 5 looking, had a look, got there, and I think he was trying to look to the inside of the 11, but not a lot of grip here on this kind of a race on the Atlanta Motor Speedway with its older surface, and I think the 5 is just going to end up either coming down into this 3 or sliding up into the 26, or either the 5 slides into the 26 or the 3 slides into the 5, and it looks like it is indeed going to be the number 5 of Brian Anders coming out the racetrack, and that's going to force the 5 of Payson Avery into the 26 of Matthew Nile. They were 4 wide behind them. There's the initial contact. And that's going to lead to the 5 coming up the racetrack into the 26 of Matt Nile. And he just gets hooked right into that outside wall. Nowhere really for the 26 to go. The 14 and the 15 get really lucky getting by that, being so far ahead. And not really having terribly much damage. I bet the 44 just came in to repair whatever he had from the slight rear end by the 18. But this 5 goes for a long tumble here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and they're just going to end up stacking him up on the back straightaway. The 26 slowing up to try and avoid this wreck. Gets rear-ended by the 88. And then the 13 nowhere to go. The 27 nowhere to go. The 77's kind of boxed himself in. And the 78 can't shave off enough speed to get by this 27. And then the 42 just piles in. And the 7 joins as well. Chris Gannaban making contact there with the 13 and a hard slide and hit into the inside wall for the 25. So far we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cars involved in this first wreck. And mind you, this is only lap 6.
We got a long way to go.
You got that right, Chief. What do you say we take one last look at this wreck from on board with that number 5 car?
Why not? Go ahead.
If I can find him. There he is. This is on board with the number 5 of PC as they head off into turn 1. That brings out the first caution of the day. And like I said, no takers on pit road. Off the restart, the 2 running away. Single file restarts as as it was in 2003. So single file as they head off down through turn number 1. The 2 of Vanswicke race leader, the 71, gonna drop to the inside of the 44, and he's gonna try and bring the 99 with him. And again, restarts are king here from Atlanta, and they're already 4 wide again. 88 trying to get to the inside with the 15 and the 3. And the 19 as they headed down the back stretch from turns 1 and 2. Race leader is Matt Vanswicke, but I don't think he's going to stay there long because it seems that with these big spoilers, the car's really able to catch the race leaders, take advantage of any mistake that they're going to have and take the race lead away. Just as I say that, the 99 gonna do just that, drops to the inside, and we've got another race leader in this one. Leading the 2 of Vanswicke, and this lead group is kind of split off into 2 main packs as the 10 hits the outside wall. But remember who I was talking about in the pre-race show, somehow managing to find his way up to the front? Yeah, look at this 39 car working his way. He's made his way into the 9th position. Ad, do you have anything to say about him?
Just like you said, anything can, I mean, anyways, the back leader is looking for a way to win this race. That's why you chose him. I still have Builder. I still see him winning this, even though he's still like in the top 10. I still see him winning this. Quiet, but sure deadly.
And that 61 trying to get into the 2nd position. Max Weisner almost getting to the inside of the 61 as he slid up the racetrack, but still Why does it say Bowman Gray? Because I didn't change the thumbnail because I don't have a thumbnail. Rewind for second. Almost 4 wide, but the 44 backed out. As we hit lap 17 of 82 from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And on the apron is the 39 of Ad. Is he making an early trip to pit road? Doesn't look like it. Possibly something wrong with that car, or he's just backing out of the chaos. What's your thoughts?
Really interesting move by me right now. Real interesting.
3 wide, couple rows deep, and a lot of 3 wide action for second. And oh, by the way, Daytona 500 winner Mew is better as your race leader. 4 wide behind, 2 rows deep. They were 2 rows, they sorted out for now. And now back to just 3 wide. Let's see if they can continue running as wild and crazy as they are. And this pack of cars has not settled down at all as they're 4 wide again. And there was contact there between the 99 and the 24, and again with the 99 and the 22, but they keep it going as they continue running double file here from Atlanta. The 24 trying to get to the inside of the 1. The 22 going to take that 3 wide, and he's going to be able to pick up a couple of spots if he can get there. But some crazy action here in the opening laps from Atlanta, and we've only just passed that first quarter mark here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and something's happened. Well, actually no, he was caught up in the first wreck, so that's one of the lap cars, and lap traffic definitely will play a factor in this race if they catch lap cars. And the 11 beating and banging with the 22, there was contact, nothing came of it, but they're still 4 wide as they head off into turn 3. Playing a very dangerous game they are here, and Mew gonna take it 3 wide for the top position, and he's gonna actually do that. As they head down the back straightaway, Mew looking for his 2nd win of the season. As previously mentioned, he was the race winner in the Daytona 500, but that's just 1 win. If he's gonna have if he's gonna have success this season, he's gonna need to get more wins than just the one at Daytona. And so far this year, he hasn't really had performances to show for it. Maybe here at Atlanta is where that all gets turned around, especially with a race that seems so very much like a race at Daytona. Or, let's just say this 4 has possibly gotten stuck behind lap traffic. That's going to allow Coaster to get out to the front of the fields here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So once again, as predicted, lap traffic playing a factor, and that's going to spread this pack out. The 54 is your current race leader, leading just over the 18 and the 1, and possibly the 44 if Creeper of Hope gets to the inside of Adrian Mobley there. So far, a lot of action on the racetrack right now. There's contact. The 44, I believe, bumped off of the 3, nearly came down into the 61, but somehow they keep those machines facing forward. so this race continues under green. Oh, and there's the wreck. The 61 up into the outside wall with the 44, and Mew gets tagged. Crash back straightaway. And that might be his hopes of winning this thing up in smoke. Caution comes out again.
And there goes my prediction.
Or not? I think we might actually stay green because the 4 didn't completely spin. So the 54 has the race lead over the 18. The 4 wrecks on the backstretch, but there was no caution. And that is really gonna hurt that 4 car. So far, the cars out of the race are the 42 of Brandon Del Pino, the 78 of Greninja Talonflame, 25 of Robot Spider, the 5 of Payson Avery after rolling that thing, and then the 2 for the camshaft issue on the pace lap. And I believe this 4 car gonna lose some time on pit road. Let's see if he's even still on the racetrack. It looks like that 4 came down pit road, repairs it. And he's actually going to come off pit road, get back up onto the main racing surface, but his contention going to be really for last place. He's now going to be a lap car, but that's extremely unfortunate, as this is in fact his home racetrack. Hometown hero once again not living up to the name and falling off the pace here. And now the 54 gonna be kind of pulling away a little bit. Has had this race lead for several laps now. The battle for second is going to see Max Weissner get up into the number 2 spot. Now, for those of you wondering, I believe that there's no caution because that car either never completely went around or did completely go around, but was on the apron by the time he did so. But I don't think it triggered a caution flag. We continue under green flag conditions, side by side for position number 4. Now, Ad, I know you aren't a big racing person, but so far throughout this race, where have you kind of wanted to keep yourself in order to have a shot at winning this thing?
Like you said, in the back, where we usually, whenever, it's usually, sorry, anyways, I would say in the back, mostly. Light Yamaghini's still there, anything, I think it should be in the back, not in the front, where you can, any mistake that you have in the leader spot could cost you. So I would say in the back where you can just scope out the mistakes and take that lead anyway.
And so, on the racetrack, we continue under green flag conditions. Let's find some of the other cars that we haven't been showing recently. Is this 4 gonna go side by side with the 9? There's the damaged 77 and the 7, the 13, and then the 44 that started the chain reaction leading to the 4's downfall. And there's your number 22 car, all by his lonesome. And he's running in 15th position, a full 10 seconds back of the last car in the lead group, which is that 15 of Emily Winters. And that little pack of cars just off of the race leaders, as this one gonna go to the inside of Briarde, trying to get second place. I think he'll have it down into turn number 3. But this is exactly what that 54 wants. Seeing those guys go side by side for second and third as they're 3 wide again. That'll get sorted out, but so far so good for this field. Now the 54 is actually going to be catching a lap car. Let's see if he's able to easily get by him. At least more easily than the 4 did earlier in this thing. He's actually going to catch him in a really bad spot here in turn, and this is going to allow the 1 to get up to the 454. He'll drop to the inside, and I think we've got a new race leader here as they head through 1 and 2. Maybe no. 1 looking for the race lead, but the 3 gonna drop all the way to the inside. They're 3 wide for first. And that 54 all the way up in the outside lane. Coaster gonna drive it into the outside wall, and he loses 3 spots instead of 1. And now the 99 gonna try and take lead from the 3. So that lap car just opened it up for a lot more action, and they continue to slice and dice here from Atlanta. And it's those kinds of moves that could result in a couple of cars either upside down in the wall or in the garage area by the end of this thing. But a lot of aggression, but even more so, a lot of great racing here in the Atlanta Motor Speedway, as that 54 Coaster making a charge back to the front. He's seen he's fast all day. He's led several laps here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I think he's not content running in second anymore. Wants to get around this 3 car and take the lead back. And just as I say that, he's going to take a look to the inside of the number 3 of Brian Anders, and I do believe that Coaster will get this spot back. The 54 back up into P1, continuing to run away with this race, and it just seems that nobody has really had a car to contend with him, except when there's lack of traffic to be dealt with. And boy howdy do we have a set of lappers to get by. 3 of them, and I think they're going to be side by side in front of the 54. Indeed they are. Coaster actually going to make it look easy, take them 3 wide, and that is actually going to be the smartest thing that he's done all night, all race, all day. Let's go side by, take them 3 wide, and take 2 out in 1 move, and then work on the number 4 car. Currently only 18 cars on the lead lap, but a majority of the field still running this race, 24 cars out on track at the moment. 61 will actually retire from this race as a result of that crash around lap 30 or so. Race continues under green. That 54 has done exactly what he did on the last green run. Pull away from, or the last time he was in the lead, pull away from second place. But we'll see, because I do believe there is going to be at least 1 green flag stop for these drivers for the end of this race.
Yep. Excuse me. Hello? Hi.
What do you have to say about the way this race is going so far?
Well, the leaders, the qualifier leading, the person in the pole, number 8, DNP dropping from 1st to 6th. Emily Winters in the back. Now, like, I believe she's still on the lead lap, but towards the back, like towards like Yamagini, where he started. So what your predictions saying for the leaders, for the back people that qualified last, such as me, would be the spot to be in this type of racetrack? Because Atlanta, you never know what might happen.
And a couple more lap cars for the 54 to get by. He does so masterfully, and I think he's going to actually pull away even further. They're 4 wide with lappers. Oh, there's contact. The 99 up into the 77, and around they go. This time, this will be a caution. The 99 gets turned in front of the 14, and we are back under yellow once again. Second caution of the day. And your race leader is the 54, that time by the start finish.
Pit road open.
Pit road will be open this time. They come off of turn number 4, and it looks like this time we will have some cars coming to pit road.
Number 4 getting caught up again.
Everybody is in. Fun fact, we have yet to see any green flag stops this season. I think the so Ad, what's your call if you're one of the guys coming down pit road?
Refill everything, all tires, gas, just in case there's no more cautions. I would rather just give it a shot and just pit 4 tires, all gas, just in case there's no more cautions, because you never know. But I mean, like, Atlanta is Atlanta, so there's probably going to be another caution anyways.
Looks like a lot of 2-tire and damage repair stops for these guys. 8 comes down and away. The 11 going to drop off the jack, 2 tires. Bit of a shake-up for a lot of these guys coming into pit road and then coming off. I believe after that exchange of green flag stops, the 54 retains the race lead. But we shall see who comes out second. I think it's going to be this one car on the 24. So a lot of cars losing spots on pit road. There's the 18 and the 3, lost a few places to the 19, 24, and 1. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened. Brings out the second caution flag of the night. I believe it is a direct result of the of 2 lap cars going 3 wide down into turn number 3. The 99 of James Youngman goes 4 wide with the 24 of George Uriarte, the 3 of Ryan Anders, and then Flashy McClashy in that outside lane. And then the 99 pinches off the 77 car and gets turned. The 77 has absolutely nowhere to go. And then the 54 the 14 heads up the racetrack trying to get out of it. And then the 4 of Mew is better going to pile in as the 3rd car involved in this wreck. And that pretty much does it for this caution flag. So with a good portion of this race completed and a good portion of lap cars starting on the inside for this restart, it could be extreme chaos. This 54 is completely boxed in. It'll be interesting to see how this restart goes. 27 actually not going to be able to get to the inside, even though he is a lap car. So a lap we're going to start between first and second. That could be helpful for Coaster. But how do you think this restart is going to go?
I think it's going to be... I don't think that lap car is going to do anything, to be honest. Because restarts are king here, and you never know. But I see that lap car doing nothing. I would see them that second place car getting past easily, letting that easily. So, but I don't know.
Let's run on board with the rear bumper of your race leader, Coaster Enthusiast, the restart of this race. These car gonna make a hard left turn to pit road. And as they come to the first data restart zone, this race is back their way. Like you said, well actually opposite of what you said, the 54 able to get around all of the lap cars much faster than the rest of the field, and he's actually going to cut out to a huge lead here from Atlanta. That might have just been the race.
Really smart move by another 54.
We take a look out the back bumper of this 54 car coming across the start finish. Back the rest of the field getting a lot smaller in the rear view mirror for that 54 car. And that is exactly what he wants to see as we get closer and closer to the end of this thing. Just don't doubt me on this. Who wants to win this race?
No doubt, anyone wins. This race. Well, especially this race, it's going to be a big boost in the standings.
Winning anything is definitely helpful, and that 54 is actually running inside of third. Leading the most laps is going to get him a hefty 10 bonus points, plus the fact that he led a lap, I believe, or gives him 5. Well, 5 for leading a lap, 5 for most laps led. And that could end up helping launch this 54 car into the points lead after today's race. But in order to do that, he's going to have to be able to hold off 18 of Adrian Mobley in that M&M's Toyota Camry, because Adrian Mobley has gotten around those lap cars and is definitely catching the 54. And we have another caution. Wreck on the front stretch. It's the 39 of Ad. Third caution flag of the day, and that just erased the 54's lead, as he'll be coming to the start finish with the rest of the field. So, another caution flag here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness. It starts with 2 of Banswicki, who was the race leader at the time of the first caution. As they came into the front stretch, to the 13 actually gets into the outside wall. That's actually going to cause him to turn left, and just nothing for the 2 and the 1 to do. As he comes back down the racetrack, the 10 gets caught up, and then the 39 gets involved as he has nowhere to go. And then the 22 of Sam Blaney gonna get a piece of the 39, it looks like. Still overall a good job for him saving it. And then the 39 gonna take a hard slide across the grass. Contact there with the 44. And then the rest of the field able to get by. Because I think this 44 car is actually, surprisingly enough, able to save it. But then to add insult to injury, as the 39 is trying to get back up onto the racetrack. As this 39 picks up speed trying to get back onto the racetrack, he's going to end up getting hit by the 14. He's able to save that.
Damage done already.
And under this caution, everybody going to stay out. Lap 64 of 82, and we started to see a few more wrecks than we did earlier in this race. But this 54 has been stellar all night. What do you think is going to take?
A lot more teamwork. Because this 54 is just fast today. 100%. A lot more teamwork.
This caution flag comes out at the precise moment to leave 13 cars on the lead lap, the last of which is this 22 car. A lot of damaged cars. It looks like, kind of looks a bit more like we've just run 64 laps at Martinsville, not 64 laps at Atlanta, but still a lot of guys with damage, but it doesn't seem to be affecting everybody too terribly much. There's a lot of these guys still able to run it in good positioning. But
I'm still on the lead lap. What?
yeah, the 39 running 12th gathered it back up. Doesn't even come down pit road, I don't think, for a damage repair.
Interesting.
So we'll restart double file. 6 lap cars on the inside. And then we have 13 lead lap cars on the outside lane. And I think this 54 gonna be able to pull away with the lappers on the inside. They'll probably be able to get a good restart, clear the 44 getting into turn 1. That'll leave the 18 on the outside, and that's going to allow Coaster to pull away. And he's had a really good season up to this point. So I think we'll be able to pull it off on this restart. So far, a bit of a wild race here from Atlanta, but that's okay because these wild races are always good and exciting. Because you never know who's going to win until that final checker flag comes. We're back on the way.
Buckle up. It's going to be a wild one.
Pull those belts tight one more time. As they head down through turn 1, just as I said, the 18 got stuck on the outside of the 44, but he's able to clear him pretty quickly. And they're going to go 3 wide with lap cars further back, and that's actually going to allow these 3 leaders really to pull away. They're 4 wide again. Lap 66 of 82. Race leaders, the 54 Booster so far this race. Add if he were to win today, would get his 3rd win of the season. But if the 54 or the 3 win, it would be brand new winners in this series. And I think both of those 2 drivers definitely want to do just that. 54 continuing to pull away from the 39. You almost wonder what's underneath the hood of that 54 car that has given him such an advantage throughout this late portion of the race. They go double file again. The 3 trying to get around the 18, and that is exactly what the 54 wants to see more of. Side by side battling for 2nd, because that will allow him to pull away. But it seems that Coaster is doing a masterful job of running clean and green here. Field kind of going single file, but 18 gonna change that, drops to the inside. Once the 2nd position, Brian Anders forced into the outside wall. That's not going to be efficient, and that will allow the 18 to get 2nd back. But as they continue battling side by side like this, this 54 is going to continue to be happier and happier as he works to pull away. You want to know something somewhat ironic? You take the numbers of the 3 and the 18 and multiply them together. 18 times 3 gives you the number of the race leader. 54.
That's surprising.
Has made it back up inside of this top 10. There it is, riding around in 10th. The 1, 8, 15, 11, 19, 24, 3, 18, and 54 all cars inside the top 10. And right now the side-by-side battles are for 2nd, and the battle for 8th here. Now 7th is the 8 gonna drop to the inside of the 15, trying to get around. And these 2 just can't seem to get away from each other. The 11 and 15 have been running in positions next to each other almost all season long. The 8 gonna still run side by side with the 15, and I think that might just be the end of that. Emily Winters gets passed by both the 8 and the 1. And now the 19 dropping to the inside of the 24. Trying to take 4th away. The 18 side by side with the 3 for 2nd.
Ironic.
And as they continue to battle side by side, Coaster just continues to open his lead up. Let's see how large it is this time by the start finish. It was 25 last lap. It's actually going to be the same. These 2 second place guys can't seem to leave each other alone. If they just work together, they might be able to catch the race leader, but simply because they don't seem to want to leave each other alone, they continue side by side, and this is going to allow the 54 to continue running his race. And oh, by the way, that's not something that you don't really want to let the leader run his race when you come to 77 laps to go, because eventually you're going to run out of time, and of course going to end up being the winner of this thing. The 18, the 19, positions 2 and 3. There goes the 8 to the inside of the 19. He's going to try and get a good finishing position. Right now, this is the battle for 4th, and the 11 of Ben Pierce making the aggressive move that you know he would. Can't quite pull it off to the 18, or the 8. Excuse me. Maybe the sole driver in position number 5, actually, as they have caught the 39 car as a lap car, and that actually is gonna hold up the rest of the field, and that might have just helped the 3 a lot. Because look at this, Brian Anders right on the back bumper of the 54. Let's go on board. Look at this. And there's no second place car for the 3 to worry about. Here comes Brian Anders to the inside. They're side by side for the top spot in Atlanta with only 3 laps to go. 2 this time by the stripe. Coaster gonna fall to 2nd. And he's in the outside wall a ton, but he's not gonna go away. Coaster is still right there, and he's gonna pull a crossover. He gets to the inside of the 3. They're still gonna be side by side as they head into turn number 3, and they're gonna be coming up on a lap car on the 9 if they can't sort this out. White flag, 1 to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Will we have a last lap pass, or will we have a classic Atlanta finish? Here they come, down the back straightaway. The 3 gonna stay in line with the 54, but he's gonna have a run, and this could set up for a classic Atlanta finish. They're side by side. Here they come to the start finish. Who's it gonna be? At the line, too close to call. I think the 54 wins this thing.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Coaster enthusiast, your race winner from Atlanta, but it was close. I think that's the closest finish we've seen all season. Coaster over Anders, and that is by 0.02 of a second.
Well, just well deserved for the 54. Well deserved.
Well, definitely well deserved. He played it smart in lap traffic all race long until the very end. Well, even to the very end there. And plus, he had the pit strategy that allowed him to keep the lead under that second caution flag. And he also had the car to beat all race long throughout that second portion of the race. But let's take a look at this final run. This, honestly, this 3 tried to get past the 54, but the 54 takes the spot back. Let's watch those 2 final laps again. This is just absolute insanity. As the 3 had just taken the race lead, and the 54 crossed him over on the last lap. Or on the second last lap, rather. The 54 goes side by side with the 3 of Brian Anders, and had there been a couple more laps, they would have caught that 9 of Chris Ganaban. But solid driving by the 54, taking the race lead back, and then this 3 does exactly what he needs to do to have a shot at winning it. It's just a shame that he didn't have help from the 11 of Pierce. Otherwise, he might have had it. And let's slow this down as they come off of turn number 4. A wild finish to a wild race as they come to the start finish. Like I said, one of those classic Atlanta finishes. Something about this racetrack, the way they've reconfigured it over the years, that leads to these cars coming off of turn number 4 side by side and having close races. I believe the closest finish in NASCAR history might have been right here a couple of years ago. But there's the difference.
What a race.
What a finish to a great race here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So the final running order is the 54 of Coaster Enthusiast, the race winner for the first time this season. Then Brian Anders comes home P2, Ben Pierce P3, George Uriardi in 4th, D&P in 5th, Emily Winters 6th, Max Weissner 7th, Sharon Kyle 8th, Adrian Mobley 9th, Sam Blaney 10th, Matt Banswick 11th, Ben Navarro 12th, that's Light Yagami in the 10, P12. And then the lap cars, the 39 of Ad, the 88 of Winterwolf, the 77 of Flashy McClashy, the 7 of Carlos Tavares, the 27 of Garrett Shima, and then Chris Ganaban and Creeper of Chris Ganaban rounds out the cars 1 down, and then Creeper of Hope in 19th finishes 2 down. Cars unable to finish this race, the 13 of Matt Wynn, 26 of Matthew Nile, the 14 of Ryan Boyer, the 99 of James Youngman, Muse Better in 24th, Cole McElmoyle 25th, Brandon Del Pino 26th, Greninja Talonflame 27th, Robot Spider finishing 28th, and then Payson Avery finishes in 29th, and a motor issue for 3rd place Parker. And so with that, thank you guys for tuning in to this week's race. I'm DNP. Alongside me was none other than Ad. Next race will actually be the season 1 Southwest NASCAR All-Star Race. So once again, everybody, send us your favorite sports team, DM me or Builder, for paint schemes for the All-Star Race. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you a week from now for the All-Star Race. But until then, take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.